Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Two Crazy Guys, One Crazy World podcast, a podcast that brings you, the uninitiated out there, your daily updates on the crypto market, as well as the crazy crypto news of the day. And the reason that we're back today is this is our special episode 50. And not only special because it's number 50, but we have a very special guest for you. Stacey, who would that be?
Today, we bring to you a guy by the name of Boomer Falks, who is the owner of Boomerang Capital. He's got quite a unique story to tell, and from my perspective, he's a pretty switched-on character, knows his stuff, right? Unlike us.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. What do you mean, unlike us? We're pretty switched on. It's just that we need brighter light bulbs from time to time. But ladies and gentlemen, sit back and enjoy this interview, which is coming to our subscribers only at this point. We shall put it out there. Brain fade.
I was going to say that. We're going to put it out to everyone because...
Yeah, we are. We're originally going to do it as our subscribers only, but it is episode 50, so we are going to give you the special and give it to everyone as well. So sit back and enjoy this upcoming interview with Boomer Falks from Boomerang Capital. You will enjoy it. It is an amazing story. And we've got some breaking news at the end. Cheers. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Two Crazy Guys in One Crazy Crypto World, a podcast for all of you uninitiated out there, be you baby boomers, Gen X or Ys. So sit back and listen to this special podcast today where we have Boomer Falks from Boomerang Capital as a special guest who's going to answer some very detailed questions for us.
Hey, Boomer, how are you, mate?
Hi, Boomer, welcome aboard.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. Excuse my surroundings. I'm just pulled up at the airport, about to jump on a plane. So we have to do it in the car. But thanks for having me.
Like you've got the technology, we can make that happen. So where are you off to this time, mate?
I've just left the Melbourne office. I spent a week here in Melbourne. I'm heading back to Sydney to my home, and then after that I'm going to head over to New York. I've got a couple of meetings organised there. Want to look into some projects for all the clients. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, how about we do a quick start? Let's for the people out there who may have never come across you before, who's Boomer and what's the Boomer story?
Yeah, because I've read on your thing that you're a straight A student, so we all know that you were the one that said yes sir, yes ma'am. Right? But obviously it's done you well.
Yeah, I wasn't a nerdy kid at school, but I was just good at it. It came natural. I'm born and bred in Melbourne. My feet have always been firmly on the ground. I just had a natural ability with math, numbers and computers, which got me a long way in life. I breezed through primary school, breezed through high school, straight A's in high school, graduated university with honours in computer science and economics. Again, it was just a natural thing for me that when I look at numbers and computer code, it's the best way to describe it. It looks like a sheet of music for me. So it's very easy. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. And straight out of university, I pretty much entered the world of finance. Straight over to the States, and yeah, that's my story. It's not overwhelming. It's quite boring.
Capital LLC, the American version, is that you as well?
No, it's not. No, Boomerang Capital, the name is like I formed it from my nickname. Obviously, Boomer's not my real name, but I'm ashamed of my real name because it's a horrible one, and I'll never let my parents forget it. But I'm not telling you.
That's right, mate. I've had to deal with Stacey in my life, so I get it. I feel you.
So, Stacey's actually become Daisy. So
that's a whole other story. So you've spent a number of years in the traditional finance world, and you've made that transition to crypto. So for you personally, what led you down that rabbit hole?
So I started, and this is a really good story, so bear with me because you'll really like it. And I must emphasise about this story, if it wasn't for luck, I would be, I wouldn't be broke, but I'd be living and working in Melbourne as a stockbroker or still into crypto. But when I was 20 years old, I made my way to New York, made my way to the offices of Bear Stearns.
Oh,
yes, that's Bear Stearns.
yeah, that one, yeah.
I walked in there and I asked for...
This is an 11 story, isn't it?
This is a what, sorry?
9/11 story?
Oh, no, not 9/11, no. More of a global financial crisis story.
Yeah.
So I walked in there, and as a 20-year-old, I asked for David Glasser, and he was the co-head of investment banking for Bear Stearns. And I said to his secretary, I've got $100 million, I'm bored, and I want to spend it. I didn't. I didn't have $100 million, I can tell you.
That's good
anyway,
stuff.
they took me straight to his office.
Yeah.
He looked at me, and he laughed. And he said, if you've got $100 million, then I'm Jack the Ripper.
So he picked it.
Yeah, but I was there, and I looked him dead in the eye, and I said, if you let me work for you for 1 week, I'll make you 50 grand. So, and the cogs started to turn in his head. I said, when I'm done, all I ask for is a permanent position here, doing exactly the same thing. And cool. His reaction to that was, he said, kid, you had the balls to con your way up here to my office, so I'm willing to take you up on that idea.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Good work.
So I was sent to the trade floor. Bear with me. I'll get to the crypto. Bear with me.
Good. Okay, that's good.
I was sent to the trade floor, sat in front of a computer, and I was given an account with 50K in it, and I had to double it in 5 working days.
Right.
So, long story short, yep, I relied on my skill to margin trade and buy and sell, but I just hit a never-ending boat of luck that week. Like, it was just, everything just came together. And I was very lucky. And after that 5 days of reading charts and analysing for 15 hours a day in their office, I made him 276K in 5 days.
50.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I got the job. I made my stake on Wall Street, and then 2008 came.
Yeah.
And we all know what happened in 2008 with Bear Stearns.
Yeah.
To continue with this story, I actually saw it happening 6 months before. Now, when I say I saw it happening, nothing like Michael Burry and Steve Eisman, nothing like that. But I saw signs, and I was really sus about it, but I wasn't convinced.
Mm-hmm. Just to jump
but
in
I began...
for people that may not be aware, if they go and watch the movie The Big Short, then they'll get that story. It's a fascinating, a brilliant movie, but it'll explain exactly what Boomer's just talking about. Keep going, mate.
Yep, must watch, So Michael Burry and Steve Eisman saw this years in advance. I started to see the sign 6 months in advance, but I didn't believe it. But what I did, I started to move some of my own stock and hedge against it just in case.
Just in case, yeah, cool.
So what I did, I put most of my stock into Hasbro. Hasbro back then made My Little Pony.
Yep.
AutoZone and biotech company Amgen. So I was hedging, but not believing that this was going to happen.
Yep.
In the months leading up to the GFC, I still didn't believe it could happen. I just didn't believe the signs, and it was like, no way.
Yeah.
So then it happened. We all know it happened.
Yep.
And we all know Bear Stearns was no more.
Yep.
So I had no job.
Yep.
But the stocks that I purchased, Hasbro, AutoZone, and Amgen, in that whole crash, and you can go back and look at the charts, they, in the following, 2-3 months, they doubled their profit. Wow. So I made money that way.
Yep.
I had banked enough and was smart enough to walk away from Wall Street with my own plans.
Nice.
And it was the following year in 2009 where Boomerang Capital Inc. was born.
Okay.
And to finish this story into the crypto, I started out in March 2009 as a private stock advisor for a dozen wealthy clients, and I took 10% of the profits I made for them.
Sure.
So in March 2010, along came the Bitcoin white paper, and I read it. So I understood it, and I thought, this looks like the future in 2025, 2030. I'm interested in it. I'm going to keep following it.
Yep.
In February 2011, I bought my first bag of Bitcoin at exactly $1 US.
Oh, seriously? Wow. That's awesome.
And in December 2011, this is where the timeline starts. December 2011, I started to advise my dozen wealthy clients that they need to buy Bitcoin.
Yeah.
None of them would buy unless I signed a money-back, guaranteed, ironclad legal contract.
Wow.
But I knew, and I believed in this, and I was reading the charts, and I knew I could make them some serious money. So I signed 9 contracts all up.
Whoa.
So I've not gambled, but I've put my entire wealth on the line that I'd made on Wall Street.
That's putting your money where your mouth is, mate.
That's it. Yep. But I was confident. I was happy. In December 2012, every single one of those 9 very wealthy clients purchased a bag of Bitcoin at $12 US.
Oh, seriously. Are they all still holding? That's the question.
Yep. I'm nearly finished. And this is the best part of the story. 4 months later, I advised a total sell at $230 US.
That was just before it crashed.
Yep. I had 4x'd the net worth of 9 very wealthy clients, and of course was wealth myself after that. Yeah. And from that point forward, I was all in on Boomerang Capital Inc. And that's the long story short on how it was born.
That's awesome.
That is an amazing story. Absolutely amazing story. And it's an amazing cryptocurrency story. As much as the GFC and everything came into it and you got very lucky in that week or that couple of months or whatever beforehand, that cryptocurrency part is where you really made it.
Yeah, that's it. That's was the foundation of what started me off in crypto and trading. Yeah.
Awesome.
Wow. Well,
so what was the key thing for you having read the white paper? And I've got to say for myself as well, when I read the white paper, there were elements that really grabbed me. So what was it for you when you read that really put the lights on for you?
Well, just the basics of like the blockchain peer-to-peer, but the basics of taking back control of your finances from the authority. If you have your private control of your finances, whether it be a gold bullion or cryptocurrency, you're hedging against a global financial crisis. The authorities cannot control that. You have full control over it. And when I read the white paper, I thought this is a great idea. At the very start, I thought, no, Bitcoin won't work, but something will come along and use that blockchain and something will work. But as it turned out, they kept developing Bitcoin and it became the strongest. But that was it, taking back control of your financial situation where it can't be manipulated by the authority.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, fantastic, isn't it? Yeah, that's awesome. So
since those times, social media has sort of blown up as well. Obviously, we all know the power of Facebook and US elections, at best our case. But we can't find you guys on social media. So is it like that?
I don't like social media, and it goes back to the early days of Bitcoin and crypto. A lot of us early guys that were heavily involved in it. Now, when I say heavily involved, I wasn't involved in the programming or developing. I had nothing to do with that. But I was involved with the people, questioning them, doing research, what could work. So in those early days, guys like me, Charlie Shrem, Roger Ver, Vitalik, there was a lot of suspicious activity happening around our social media, our computers, and all stuff that started to scare me a little bit because Silk Road came along. They were chasing down who that was behind it. Crypto was used for human trafficking and all that sort of stuff. So one day I logged into my Facebook account and I had notifications that had been looked at, and I'm like, hang on a minute, I didn't see them notifications. So anyone who knows anything about the insides of the computer, you can go and look at the code on your computer and read the code, find out when it was accessed, blah, blah. I went into my laptop, I read the code, and someone had logged into my Facebook from a computer located in Langley.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Now, we all know what's in Langley.
Yeah, we sure do.
So it was from that point forward, I shut down my Facebook page, any social media, and I am, like, not that we were doing anything wrong. As you know, like Charlie went to jail, because he got caught up a bit in Silk Road. But we weren't doing anything wrong, but to get that depth of being followed by someone either in the CIA or the NSA, it scared me, so I shut it down. And I've never gone back to Facebook social media. And I advised my guys not to do it. Now, Paul, my global head of sales, he heads up the social media for the company. So we've got the Twitter and the Facebook. But I'm paranoid about it. I was back then, I still am now. And you'll never see me on Facebook, LinkedIn, any of that stuff. Too scary.
I agree. And the more, and coming from an IT background myself, and I originally got on Facebook to track the kids, to be honest,
That's what I got in for, was for family and friends. But you caught up with people that you hadn't seen forever.
But as you delve deeper and you start to realise what's going on behind the scenes, it's pretty scary stuff, I've got to say. Absolutely. So, what? Give us a bit of a nutshell or executive summary, if you like, of Boomer Capital Investments and what you guys offer.
Yeah, what you're offering.
No problem. So, we're completely different to everyone you've seen out there in the crypto space. You'll see on Twitter all the cartoon characters, we like to call them, all the people hiding behind pseudonyms. They're probably sitting in mum's garage, churning out buy and sell signals, and seriously, it makes me laugh. Some of these people have got 20,000 followers. They're all fighting with each other, and who knows who they are really. And I just can't work out how people trust them with their advice and their money. But anyway, so I said, right, I got a couple of my best mates. I said, let's do something. Instead of creating a firm, so to speak, and entering to a board of directors, let's create a business where people, they subscribe for our information and pay us for our information. So we're paid for our service. But hang on, I'm just receiving a call. So we wanted to create a service where we can help people gain wealth from cryptocurrency. This wasn't about building up this business so the business is wealthy and blah, blah, because I'm already there, and people that work with me and work around me, they're almost there as well. That's why they work for me, because we're creating wealth. We're creating a difference. We deal, in the buy and sell signals. We deal in that, because that's some of the technical analysts, an FA, it comes easy for us, reading charts. So buy and sell, but we're about making a dynamic impact on individuals' net worth. So we have Yep, buy and sell. We have your crypto investor, which is a long-term, where you invest in coins that we have heavily researched, that I've been overseas and talked to the teams, talked to the head of the teams about these projects, and I can gauge on where they are going in the future. This is our long-term investment arm where people can put as little as $500 into a coin, and these coins or tokens, in my research, I have projected them to go anywhere from 10x to a couple of our coins I've projected to go 100x in 2 to 5 years. Yeah. We have our margin trading, our margin trading service, which is your shorting and longing Bitcoin, ETH, Litecoin, all that. Yep. Just made a nice profit on short. Hate shorting Bitcoin, by the way, but we made a nice profit on shorting it yesterday. And we also have the products that all those Twitter people that are fighting amongst each other, they don't understand and they can't touch. We have crypto income. We search for crypto projects that pay steady income no matter what the market is doing. These coins give you a regular income. And all those other guys out there on Twitter and the signal groups, they don't understand that. And that's why we're different. We offer a service where we're not trying to make the business into a multi-million or billion-dollar business. We want to create wealth for you. And all we want in return is a subscription fee for our services. That's it. We don't want to touch your money. We don't want to touch your crypto. All we want is for you to subscribe to us so we can be paid for our services. And it's up to you after that. We're there for you.
So you don't actually take people's money and invest it for them. You give them the recommendation, buy this coin. Our thoughts are in the next 5 years it's going to go up 10-fold, 100-fold, whatever it happens to be.
Yeah, that's correct. I don't want to touch people's fiat currency. I don't want to touch it. I don't want to touch people's crypto. No, I don't want nothing to do with it. We ask for a subscription because we offer a service that is second to none. We will advise you from the simple part, the buy and sell. We will analyse the charts. We will recommend buy and sell. We'll analyse the charts. We'll recommend margin trading. I do the thorough research. Some of the things that tokens that I research takes me 6 months to 12 months, and then I put out a recommendation to buy this token. This token is going to take 2, 3, 4 years to 50x, whatever. So I advise you to buy that. And then with the crypto income, I put out instructions and advise on what to buy and how to create income from that coin. So no, I don't touch money. I don't touch your crypto. No, I don't have access to your key, your address, nothing.
Can you drop your sunbite?
There we go.
That's better. Thank you. So really, are you the Rene Rivkin of the crypto world?
No, Rene. I've met his son.
Yeah, his son's continued the newsletter, but it's nowhere near what it was.
Oh, I know. I remember when Rene was alive and I didn't subscribe to his newsletter, but I saw it every now and then. And Rene was a genius early on. Yeah. I read a lot about him sort of later when his son took over. It wasn't as good, but early, Rene, he was a genius.
He was bloody good.
I'm not.
Its day was very, very good. And to me, I subscribed to that back in the 80s and 90s. That for me, it sounds very similar what you're doing. It sounds brilliant. So it gets me excited that there's someone doing it in the crypto world.
It is similar, but it is similar.
It is.
No, it just threw me because I don't like to be compared to Rene because he was such an icon back in those days. So
yeah, but he was an icon in the traditional share market. You're now, if you're heading this way, you will be the icon in the crypto world.
Well, Yeah.
Absolutely.
Hopefully, and when regulation comes along, and it is, nothing's going to change with us.
Yeah.
But you look at those Twitter people, and they're all going to be gone because they won't be able to afford the financial license and all that sort of thing. And so, you know, maybe in the future, maybe when the regulation comes along and we're licensed. And
so I'll tell you what, I'll throw some money in with you guys. I'll subscribe to you guys. Stacey already is, but I'll tell you right now.
Full disclosure. Yeah.
I'll subscribe with you. And the first one of the coins that actually goes up, say, tenfold, I'll buy you worry beads.
He's worry beads, yeah. I forgot about that. That's a good one. Yeah.
So,
he had his worry beads and his cigar.
Yeah. I won't buy you a cigar. I'm not trying to kill you, but I will buy you a worry bead.
The worry bead, that's good.
So one of the things, as Chris just mentioned, I am a subscriber, and this is one of the key reasons I wanted to bring you on, mate, because I have been following you guys for over 12 months now. One of the key things I think that is, for me, there were two real differences that I really enjoyed with your services. One is the guided support. So when you first get into it, people can be quite nervous and not sure about how to do it. So have a chat about the support that you guys offer.
Yeah, so we're there. Again, unlike all those others out there who just churn out the signals or whatever they do, there's no support behind it. So if you subscribe to us, a lot of our subscribers are first timers. So we're like, okay, send us your subscription fee in Bitcoin. And they're like, whoa, what? And I'm like, okay, so this is what happens. We have the blockchain. You have an address, I have an address, and payment is made in Bitcoin. You send it to this address and we'll walk them through it. Yep. All right, no worries. We get past that, the buy and sell signals. Most of ours come out on Binance. So we're like, all right, we've analysed this chart. Bang, here's a buy alert. Go and buy such and such. All right, I'm on Binance. How do I buy? What's 25%? What's Satoshis? Yeah. So we're there to walk people through what is a Satoshi, because our signals come out in Satoshis. How do you buy on Binance? How do you set a stop loss? So we're there for that. Contact us anytime. We're there. We're there to walk you through it. Margin trading, we push people towards beginners videos because with margin training, it's easier to learn looking at someone doing it rather than someone explaining it. Margin training is a bit harder in regards to our long-term stuff, long-term investments. We talk people through the research reports, as you would have seen, is very extensive. We talk people through the best wallet, the best place to buy. What else? Our stock. We've still got the stock market arm of the service, but the bottom line is we're here. People hit us up on Telegram. We're now taking calls. Paul's now taking calls. My global head of sales, he takes calls now. So we're moving from the invisible voice on Telegram to actual hearing a voice on the phone, and so we're putting realism to the product. Because there's so many scams out there and so many people getting scammed, people now want to talk to an actual person about what they're getting involved in. So,
and in relation to that, one of the other things I really enjoyed about your subscription and the travel that you've spoken about is you managed to get around the world and get in front of the people and the projects and to get the inside goss.
Yeah. I made some great friends back in 2011. All those people that are high profile now, I made some great friends and some built some great bridges, and I've never burnt my sources. I've always been able to get information from people without naming them, without burning them. So I've managed to keep those friends. And yes, I do fly around the world, but I don't like to gloat about it. like I said, I got lucky, and
it's how you get the info, right? I mean, it's you gotta be at where it's happening. You gotta be face to face with people.
Yeah, you can't sit in your office in Melbourne, Sydney, Hong Kong, London, or New York and expect to get the information that I get. The information about how did this start? What are you doing with it? Why are you doing that with it? Where are you taking it? Yeah. I get all this information firsthand without burning sources. And that's the key. That's why people I meet are so happy to give me information, because they know that I won't burn them.
It's trusted, yeah. And I got to say, right through the 2018 bear market, there were a lot of dark days through that. So, but your information coming through, I tell you, it kept me going. It was that alone, I think, was worth the subscription for me.
It was, no, thank you for that. I appreciate that. But
there's a lot of people who haven't invested in crypto yet. Right? So, why do you think that is so? Do you think it's just simply because, like a friend of mine who's actually quite wealthy in his own right through share investing, he calls anyone investing in crypto, he says, "Oh, so you're actually not an investor, you're a speculator." Do you think it's because of that attitude? And how do you convince them that crypto is something that is tangible that you can invest in? Like, I'm a total believer in crypto, that over normal share markets. How do you get them into it? How do you convince them to come in?
I say, this is one of my favourite sayings, and I got this from Jerry Maguire. No, it's not show me the money.
So I was not just about to say that.
Rene's your week, or I'll join you. So.
One of my favourite sayings to those people is, this is show business, not show friends. All right?
Right.
Just because you don't believe in it doesn't mean you can't invest in it.
Yeah.
All right? We all want to make money. We all want to try and, be wealthy. This is a product that has a real market, real profits, real losses, and there's nothing wrong with adding it to your portfolio. I'm not saying cut out your stocks. Stocks are great. We still advise on stocks. I love stocks. That's where I started. But there's nothing wrong with adding crypto to your portfolio. Diversify your portfolio.
Yeah, and I don't know what stocks you've got, but I can't really imagine that you've bought many of them for $1 that are now valued around 10,000. So,
definitely.
That to me says it all. So.
Yeah.
And actually, that is what scares people. But a lot of my friends on Wall Street now, who are reluctant, are basically just waiting for regulation. When regulation hits, they're going to be all in. So, to people that are still reluctant to get in, find the right people. Just be very careful.
Yep.
There's lots of scams. Find the right advice and do your own research.
Yeah.
And like I said, this is show business, not show friends.
Yep.
You can hate it as much as you want, but you can profit from it as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, is it?
No, it sure isn't.
All right. Well, listen, mate, I really appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. You're just about to jump into the airport, so we will let you go. I will we'll put all your links and everything into the episode so people can know where to find you. Anything else you wanted to close off before we finish it off?
No. Well, I can tell you that because we've got a marketer, we've put a head marketer on because we're growing and I don't want to take too much time away from our head of global sales. And his first day he came on, he had a right old go at it and said, you're putting out this fantastic service, it's second to none, but your subscription fees are too low. So for the people out there, if you can get in before September 1st, because he's putting our subscription fees up because of our fantastic results, our fantastic feedback, you'll get a substantial discount if you get in before September 1st, because after that, he's the man that's going to be controlling the subscription fees. So
fantastic.
Yep.
All right. Well, heard it here, folks. Now's the time to get in.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Boomer, thank you very much for joining us today. We really do appreciate your time. And I know of at least one person who will get in before September 1st. Right?
No problem at all.
And don't forget, once he's got that tenfold, he owes you some worry beads.
That was a good call, a good call.
Well done. All right, mate. Well, travel safe, and we'll talk soon. Thanks very much again.
No worries. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye,
Boomer.
mate.
Cheers.
See you, mate.
Bye.
Bye.
Ladies and gents, how was that? I mean, really, his story. Could you imagine being in the position that he was as a 20-something-year-old guy and going in and saying to these people, I've got $100 million on board and I want to spend it, and actually into the boss's office? I mean, holy crap, man, that is balls. That is your balls on the table and saying, give me your best shot.
Yeah, I got to say, but the fortune favours the brave, right? I mean,
and it did in that case, because look what happened. I mean, not only did he follow through on his promise, I mean, he was going to double the guy's money in a week. He 5 times it in 1 week. That is just phenomenal. But then he was smart enough to see the upcoming GFC, even though he quite freely admitted he didn't see it himself. He did see it. He didn't believe it himself, but he still followed his instincts on it. And look where he's gone from there. And then to buy that little-known thing, I don't know what was it called, Bitcoin, for US $1, and to have such little faith in it that he only bought a bag full. You know what I really want to know, Stace?
What's that?
How big was the damn bag? What an interview. What an interview.
It was. Yeah, I really enjoyed that. Great insight. And I think it certainly highlights one of the key reasons I've followed this subscription, because the value that he brings is just phenomenal.
Absolutely, it is. And I mean, I'm a convert already, and I know that you've been following Boomer Capital for some time, and I shall now be following Boomer Capital as well. Because that's it. I mean, you listen to that story, how could you not?
Yeah.
How could you not? And as we now know, even though he hadn't thought of it, he is the Rene Rivkin of the cryptocurrency world. Yeah. Rene Rivkin, for anyone out there who doesn't know, was a stockbroker who was absolutely brilliant, stock trader, brilliant in his time. And he had a thing called the Rivkin Report that people subscribed to religiously and followed his trade.
Yeah, it was massive.
Boomerang Capital, you're doing it for the crypto world, so you guys are going to be around for a very, very long time.
Absolutely. And just a reminder for those that were listening right through that interview, Boomer also dropped a bit of a bombshell there that the price is going to be going up come September 1. So get in early, people. Don't hang around.
I mean, you've got plenty of time. There's 8 days left. So we will get this out there as quick as possible. Hopefully that it'll be very, very soon. And please jump onto Boomerang Capital and get in there. It's going to work. I mean, it's worked for my friend here, and it's going to work for me because I now have to buy Boomer the worry beads once I've gone 10.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's absolutely. I can't recommend them enough, to be honest. It's they're a phenomenal organisation, and you can find them at boomerangcapital.org, or you can also find them at Twitter, which I think their call sign there is at Boomerang. Hang on, I've lost it.
While Stacey's finding that, I'd just like to mention we actually had no affiliation with Boomerang Capital, i.e.
Correct.
They had not paid us for this podcast or anything else. No. In fact, we're paying them for a subscription. So it's really honest information coming from us. But as always, it is not to be considered financial advice. It is general advice only, and it is for your entertainment purposes. And when we say get on board, we do mean get on board. You have to make that yourself.
Absolutely. So their Twitter handle is at Boomer Capital. So you can find them there on the website.
Start tweeting. And until then, thank you for joining us for episode 50. We shall see you at episode 51 very, very soon. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.
Have a crazy old day. See ya.